Hi, Graham Frame here. One of my members who was more alert than me pointed out that my calculations were wrong in the way that I showed you that you could use Tiki for producing income. There's some good news and some bad news there. The bad news is that Tiki stop paying you once you have a 40% profit. In other words, if you invest $100, once you've got $140 in revenue from them, that stops everything and your $100 is no longer making you any money. Now you can, if you wish, reinvest that $100, or you can just play with the $40 profit so that you're working on a profit basis. But it does affect the speed at which you can earn money with Tiki, and that's the bad news. But the real good news is you can still make an awful lot of money, and it's far more sustainable once you understand that they're not going to be paying you 6.48%. 6.48% until you get to $140 is the same as paying you 2% a day. 2% a day is really far more sustainable for this type of program than the amazing 6.48%. So 6.48% is what you actually get on a daily basis, but part of that is your capital repayment. It brings it down to a real 2%. So how does that affect the figures? Well, first of all, if you want to take the safe option and just get your money back, it doesn't really affect them at all, because you will still have your money back in the same amount of time. If we go here, you've got $100 or more back in 16 days, exactly the same. The only difference is that here in day 22, they stop paying you, and you've only got $40 plus your $100. You've got $140 there, but 100 of it was your initial investment. You've got a $40 profit if you take that $100 out. Okay? So I want you to understand that. So how does it affect the overall picture if you want to opt for strategy 2 and build an income with what is now a much more secure option, much more sustainable option, and that is important. So here we are with the numbers that I gave you, but the change here is I've taken out the investment after 20 days. So it's a more negative picture than is actually happening, because your investment would actually come out somewhere around 21.5 days once that 140% overall has been reached, and you'll see the effect of that. But I've done it on 20 days so that we are not over optimistic. In fact, we're a little bit on the pessimistic side with the figures that I'm showing you. The other thing is that we are not showing any referral income, which can greatly enhance this. Referral income is paid on anybody you introduce, and it's paid through 3 levels. So anybody that the people you introduce and the people that they introduce, you can get commissions on. We're ignoring that totally, and we're taking out your investment after 20 days just to make life easier from a point of view of what you see. Okay, so here it's exactly the same up to this point, because this is 18 days and it's exactly what I was showing you previously. But as we go on, you'll see that on the 20th day I've taken out that initial 10. So even though you're putting 2 more units in here, 10 come out. So it drops to 22 from 30 units that you have in your portfolio that are earning at this 6.48%. And the effect of that is that you can't put in as many units as you have been doing. So from here it drops down 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2. And so as we get into month 2, which is like the 31st day, then you will have 31 units as opposed to what I showed you in the previous example. So let me take you over to month 2 and beyond. So here are the figures for day 31. You've got 30 units, you've got $27, you buy 2 units but you still only got 30 units because 2 are coming out that were purchased 20 days ago. And this shows this scenario all the way through. What you buy less what is coming out. And you can see that you're now putting in 2 a day for 7 days, and then it's going up to 3 a day because you're still building, it's still increasing, just not as quickly as it would have been if that 6.48% was real, in the fact that it didn't include repayment of your capital. So as we go down, you can see that this gradually builds. And what I've done, once we get to buying 10 units a day here, I started the drawings. So it's going to take you just over 2 months to get your $100 back, assuming that you put in $100. You might have put in 1,000, it would still take you the same amount of time to get your 1,000 back. You might have put in $10, take you the same amount of time to get your money back if you're reinvesting. Here we started taking out 50, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase that every time we get back up to $100 daily. I'm going to increase that by $50. So here you can see as we go, at the end of 3 months, you've actually drawn $1,250 for your $100 investment, and that is still amazingly good. Not as good as we projected in the original video, but it is still an amazing profit for a $100 initial investment using this strategy. 3 months from today, we're approaching the end of September 2018 as I'm recording this. That'll be October, November, December. That's like $1,250 extra dollars in your bank account for a $100 investment at Christmas. Okay? That's over $1,000 you wouldn't have had this Christmas. But it really starts to work a lot better from this point on, and I want to show you that, because as we go through the next month, you can see still building in the same way, and as we get up, I want to get to 120. It's actually 121 is shown there. But you're now drawing $150 a day, and you'll have drawn $4,600 out by the end of January. Okay? So by the end of January, you'll have taken out $4,600, $1,200, $1,250 or whatever it was, round about Christmas. So you've taken out an additional $3,000, over $3,000 in January, and you're now getting $150 a day out, which is over $4,500 a month. And if you still adopt the same practice, and every time you get to the point like this, where you can buy 10, the following day you increase this. Here I've waited because it went from 10, it was just on the border of 10, and then it dropped down to 9, but here it would have been 10, 10, 10, 10 or more. I increased it to 150. So once you get to the point where you would be buying 10 or more, give yourself a raise, give yourself another 50, and you'll very soon be drawing 200 a day, 6,000 a month, 250 a day, 7,500 a month, and so on. Really, really powerful, very much more sustainable than what I took it to be in the first place, which was 6.5%. They are paying 6.5%, but it includes capital repayment, and that's why we've had to keep taking bits out. And you can see 307, we had 5, which would be 312, but there's 4 come out from 20 days ago, leaving you with 308. It's still very, very powerful, just a little bit different and far more sustainable. It's a good program. Get in now. You can have an extra 1,000 in your bank by Christmas if you just put in $100. Put in 200, you'll have $2,000 extra. Put in 500, $5,000 extra. Put in 1,000 and you'll have $10,000 extra. Just follow the strategy. Okay? God bless.